Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next part of Alien Isolation. Lots of noises going around. We got flames going on behind us, and pipes spewing steam, and banging on pipes. This game has really good audio. It reminds me of, I can talk about it now because I've already played the game, but before I played this one. But it reminds me of Dead Space that we just played pretty recently. The game has really good audio as well. Alright, so let's see what's on here. Yeah, sometimes you get corrupted folders or corrupted files. You just can't do anything about those. Decommissioning. To engineering team, decommission. So, boys and girls, you've probably heard the whispers about Sevastopol by now, and I can confirm it's official. Sevastopol is being decommissioned. I will go over with each of you what this means in regards to your contracts and next placement. But for now, we still have a job to do. The suits want this done with a skeleton crew, which means we'll only be getting a few outside contractors to help. But it does mean overtime. I recommend taking what you can while it's available. I should point out that the decommission does not mean lucky dip. Everything here has to be accounted for, and I will personally escort anyone found helping themselves to equipment to Marshal Waits, Chief. Lucky dip. That must be a term. I've never heard of that one. We'll get to meet Marshal Waits eventually. Folder corrupted, so. Okay. You see before we head out here if I got any little notes to mention. I do, I just don't know if they apply yet. Looking. Nope, not yet. Alright, so let's head on forward. So, just gotta be cool. Look down. Just line it up with her feet. That would have broke your tailbone, so that's scripted. She falls like so many frickin' times in this game where like a normal person would die, kind of like Isaac in Dead Space. Like even with that suit on that Isaac Clarke's in, he gets his head banged in so many times. All right, a flare. This is our first item.
This'll help.
Maybe. Number 4 to open the radial inventory and use mouse. Yeah, so whatever your keybind is. And you notice we did take damage, our health meter. We took health damage from that scripted fall that we had no control of. So, this game don't mess around. So, something to keep in mind, this is something I can read off to you here because I've written this down to mention. If I can find where I wrote it. Can't put away items until you get the revolver weapon, which is true. And I believe, yeah, that's the first. This is not a weapon per se. It's just a light source and a distracting item. But the first weapon we get is a revolver, a gun, a handgun. Kind of like Barry's Magnum, from Resident Evil. But until you get that weapon, you are not able to put something out. Once Amanda puts it in her hand, you're not able to put it away. So then it's either hanging out in your hand the whole time, or you have to use it to get rid of it. I'll probably do it here just to use this flare. I mean, I don't use flares too much in the game anyway. They have their purpose. It's just one of those items where you collect them and you forget you have them and you don't use them. So let's see. This is not going to show us anything except find help, search this spaceflight terminal for help. Arrivals and departures. So I think this constitutes as the second mission. So this mission is when we should find the first blueprint for health kits, basically. And you can click, like I said, I'm playing with mouse and keyboard, and left mouse click lets me drag this around and, you know, zoom in and out. Emergency airlock. Okay, so nothing's changed here. I'm going to try to bring up the radio menu. It's probably going to use the flare as soon as you have to hold the button for radial to be opened. Select out of the radial circle once you get more things, once you want to activate, and then you let go. And since we came in here and one flare is the only thing that's here, I think she's automatically going to pull it out, which she does. And so you can see the R button for me is activate, which was something else I was going to bring up to say that there's a use button for interacting with like devices and picking up items, but then R, this is in your keybinds, R or whatever you set it to is also a button for activate. It seems like use and activate is and should be the same thing, but they're separated in this game. And the R is used for activating items. Yeah. So, just trying to remind myself which R is. So I'll go ahead and use it. Press it, she lights it, and then you can hold right mouse button here. Where this is where you can also see the lens flare. The little weird effect that would happen without the lens flare mod that I talked about would be here, but now it's not. I'm not talking about the lens flare up by the burning part that you see, but it would be down in the middle of the screen. So now we can see, and you can hold the right mouse button to get in a throwing stance, and then if you press the left mouse button, she'll throw it. And you can also press R again to place it on the ground instead of throwing it. So she'll crouch under here. You always know a working Joe. That's what that says. These last a pretty good while. And you can use them as a distractor. If somebody sees or whatever you throw it, they'll go to it or be like, you know, what's going on? Whoa. So I'm going to have to interact here with this stuff anyway, so she's going to end up dropping or throwing this. So I'd rather show you what it looks like to throw it than drop it. You get a crosshair on the screen, and I'm going to throw it towards that box we're going to loot, so you can just see what happens. Once you throw it, it stays lit. See, there's a lens flare effect. But you're not able to pick it up again. The interaction is to search for this, to not pick it up though. Well, so once it's thrown, you can't pick it back up. Even when you drop it, you cannot pick it back up. It just burned out just now, so it's on a timer, not from when you throw it, but from when you light it. So, but if you come all the way down here, you can get some extra stuff. There's a scrap, and then you can search these little containers with the green light, of course. get a bonding agent and a compound B. Like I said, try to just use your keybind for activating items, which is your take all for this, instead of trying to use the U or whatever you have it set as for taking, because then you'll have to do it each one at a time. Just take everything. So now we got to backtrack. It's just a little extra area if you keep going forward. There was a ladder, I think, or something we missed. Oh, there's a ladder here. That's where we need to get to. Right here. So yeah, guys, this, just remember I'm playing slow to show off the game and talk about stuff and just enjoy it myself instead of rushing through it. But this is also a stealth game, and it's a story-driven game, and it's a slow-paced game to start with. They don't just throw you in a room with 4 walls and, drop the alien in. You always know a working Joe knew. Someone new. Forgotten FU. Strangers. I totally did not see the S. Strangers will be shot. No something. Keep moving. Alright. Don't like that. Bonding agent. Looks like a whiteout. That's what I always think of when I see this. Or super glue, that, whatever that stuff, Loctite. Too big of a cap to be super glue, or to be a whiteout, but it just makes me think of whiteout. Everyone is responsible for safety. Well, you shouldn't have coworkers or friends pushing each other off cliffs. Okay. Hearing music. This is probably copyrighted. I'll leave a little of this stuff in, but if I get copyright claimed on it, then I'll just have to silence the music and sound effects of the game briefly to cut it out. And I'll try to not talk when these things happen so that you don't lose any commentary. Anything different? I may not get copyrighted for it, so if I don't, then I don't mind keeping it in a little bit. Okay, scrap. Some of the areas in this game are going to be pretty bright. I mean, that's super frickin' bright, for sure. Even with my reshade darkening it. But the game's going to be really dark in other areas as well, so... Alright, we're starting to get more, crafting materials here. Collect SCJ injector. I think that's part of the thing you need to make health. You take a drink. Health kits. I think that's what you use, because this is one of those games where your character has to stab themselves, brutally in the arm with something to heal. They can't just pop a Mentos, or something and enjoy life. They have to put a inch-long needle through their arm, to get get to feeling better. Stuff does have physics in this game. Some of the boxes you can like get in and like kind of mess with. Sort of. That one went flying. You can't pick them up, but these things that make noise like this, they can be heard by enemies, so anything that makes noise.
Hello? Anyone here?
What do you think, Amanda? Everybody's gonna jump out and say, "Happy birthday!" So these areas are meant to be dark. We don't have a flashlight yet. Okay. These are things I need to, I do remember. Good grief. I do remember we'll be getting into this one pretty immediately, but for me to remember to get to places, there's certain places where you have to come back later, and a few where you have to backtrack pretty far to get to them. Like I know some of the Nostromo logs you have to like go way back to get. Let me back off of this so I can see what the icon looks like, 'cause I'm standing on top of it. So it's this one, just locked. Maybe once we interact with the door, it'll tell us what kind of lock. But I'll have to stop from time to time and make a note on my phone so that I can remember to come back to these locations. Because you're going to have passcode doors, you're going to have doors that you need a specific tool to get into it, to open it. And it's very difficult to remember where they are, and the game does not notate them necessarily for you. So it says password acquired. I'm trying to interact with it, but the game does not tell you on the map. It just tells you simply it's a locked door, but there's locked doors that you can never get into, so it doesn't look like this, indicating a passcode lock, which isn't that what that is? We'll see. There's ladder. Where's ladder? Ladder access. Yeah, these are, I'll go down the list here. Locked doors. This means it's an item or a tool or a weapon that you can take. Something that you need to look at is important. These are rewiring boxes where you can, excuse me, cause things like sprinklers or something to go off, or an intercom to make a squeal for a distraction. Ladders, one we just climbed up and down. Cutting points are when you use a specific tool to get into a vent or an opening. Security access points are to make something work, I believe. I forget. Personal terminal. Those are the ones that you read the archived logs. And then there's passcode locks, there's keycard locks, there's save stations, and then these are the places where you get out of the area. It's going to be hard for me to remember all of these icons, so I probably won't remember. Okay, this one's flashing. Restore power. Okay, there's no power. Maybe once we restore power, then it gets labeled. We'll see. We can read that in a bit once there's power. So this is a replica of the space station we're now on, Sevastopol, and it's the thing you see really small in the background on the title screen. It's the space station. It's a cool little 3D model of it. This area will get brighter here in a minute once we get power on. So here's some flashing lights for you. I think these doors will be accessible in a minute. And we can look at these The artwork in this game is really cool. Forgotten, F-U. It'd be really cool to have a lot of these posters enlarged and like have them as real posters, like in your room. Trust no one. Work, I can't really read that yet. We'll read it in a minute. Okay, use these terminals to update your map with unexplored areas. So look at the map as it is. That's all we can see is... So now let's pick it up. Goes away. And now it extends out further from where we are. Oops. Showing this whole area out here. Passenger lounge. So yeah, there's updates to your maps laying around there. Those bright square lights. You see them, don't forget to look at them.
Doesn't anything here work?
Find a way to restore power to the shutter. Meaning this shutter, I think. Because this would be the way leading that way. It's nice in this game too because they, you know, some games don't show you... Some games don't show you a lot of things, you know. But like in this game, you can see this is your waypoint. This is where you need to try to go however you can. But it shows where you are on the map. And get up here. It also shows with this arrow what direction Amanda's facing. So it's really helpful. It helps orientate you in the level. So we'll check over here in a little bit. Let's get this place lit up. Once we get a flashlight, it won't be so bad. So this is what's beeping on us over here. We got a terminal here with no power. And a save station that somehow has power, but we don't talk about that. So this thing you have to crank the handle and you have to do it like 3 times in a row. So keep spamming the button. Then she punches it. Okay, so let's get our save on. Okay, you get the little tape up in the corner letting you know you've saved. So now this is active. Okay. Just remember what your keybind is down there on the bottom right where it says back. Always be ready to back out of these things as soon as you get into them. Because something could come up on you. Personal moved our stash. Langley, if you're looking for our stash, I've moved it. You left it right out in the open where anyone could have taken it. Do you know what I had to go to do to get it? I've hidden it in one of the storerooms. You should be able to find it. The code is 0340. So let me write this down. 0430. Or, I already wrote it down wrong. Good thing I looked at it. 0340. I think it's the same number every time, but it may not be. Don't worry, no one goes down to the terminal anymore, not after what happened. Also, we are out of meds and low on water, so you're going to need to get some. It's your turn. Maybe it'll teach you to take care of our stuff in the future, Anna. Okay. Goodbye from Siegson. Public notice the decommissioning of Sevastopol Station. We've had a long journey together, but sadly it's coming to an end. Siegson Corp would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you who worked and lived at Sevastopol over the years, and hopes that Siegson has helped to make it a productive and rewarding environment. Our investment and belief in the station has never wavered. Be assured that Seegson's Apollo Central AI and Working Joe androids will be there to serve Sevastopol until the last rivet is removed. We wish you all the very best for the future. After all, Sevastopol isn't just a station, it's people. Seegson Corp. So yeah, you're going to hear about Seegson and Weyland-Yutani and, all that. If you know the movies, you know about Weyland-Yutani and all that. But Seegson, yeah, see these Working Joe androids, they're Seegsons, or Seegson's responsibility. They help run and control things on Sevastopol, do maintenance, make sure people are approved to get into certain quadrants of the space station, based on their rank and stuff. And they can be security because they're androids. But Seegson runs that, and it runs the central AI of Sevastopol, which is called Apollo. And Seegson is a good corporation. They're a good company. They're not trying to do anything wrong, and you'll learn that as we get further through. Not everybody's bad. Kill the power.
Harris, Turner, get back here now. We have a track somewhere in engineering. Lock the terminal down, kill the power, and don't forget your reports. Make them thorough. We're gonna need our paperwork to be bulletproof when this shit's over. Waits up.
Okay, first audio log. Let me take a drink. Since there's subtitles and it's on the screen, I'm not going to read that. There's no reason to, because it's spoken, so I'll let those be read by the voice actors. But I'll try to, leave everything here long enough that if you want to read it, you can, or pause the video to read it. Okay, power junction D13 departures. Restore power to departures. Select. Okay.
I'm going!
Got some runners. Now we got some power. So obviously we can go over there now. They came running out and running through. So let's get a save again. So now we got the power and everything going back here. We can leave now. We can leave now if we'd like to, but we don't need to just yet. And we shouldn't. Because now we can go over there. And look at that locked door. So what do we got here? Okay, promoting smoking. Core lander, like lovingly machine rolled for your pleasure. Kirschner buck, so some shotgun shells. Smile with confidence. Regular dental checkups are vital to the health of your teeth. Don't put them off. Make an appointment at San Cristobal Dental Practice today. Our affordable dental insurance can be paid over in monthly installments. That's just another reason that you'll be able to smile with confidence. San Cristobal Medical. We'll get to go there in the game. That's a level. Nice teeth, lady. Barricaded up here. Well, we can cut through. Go back around. Yeah, I used to smoke. Had my first one probably when I was 18, 19. Kept smoking from then on. I don't know if I picked it up hardcore then, but definitely in my 20s, into my 30s. I stopped when I was, I don't know, it's been a long time now. Early 30s. I would say I stopped smoking. I suffer from migraines, and I actually suffer from migraines even worse now than I did then, because I have neck issues now that I didn't have then. So my neck acts up on me often, and it causes migraines, and the migraines cause me to throw up, and I'm just miserable from it. But back then, smoking attributed to my migraines before the neck pain did. So that was a reason that I quit smoking. And I knew all along it was killing me and not healthy. Whatever damage I've done, they say you can reverse it, but you can't reverse all of it. And I think they call them, cancer sticks, or like you put the stake through Dracula's heart to kill him. That's what you're doing with every cigarette you smoke. Every cigarette, they used to say, is like a day of your life, or something like that, I believe. So every cigarette you go through is like losing a day of your life. But not telling you what to do. I would just advise you to not smoke. Don't even start. And if you are smoking, try to quit. I did. It was hard though. I quit. I think I quit the first time, just quit, and then I wasn't able to do it. Quit or started again. I tried gum first, and that worked. I think I might even lasted 4 to 6 months, possibly, before I reverted back. I think while still chewing it, but I think you're supposed to quit after a while. You don't just the gum is not meant to be a replacement for the smoking. It is for some people. I guess it can be, but there's still gum in the nicotine. There's just lesser amounts, but that's a whole other side to it. You're just supposed to use the gum to help you taper off of the desire to actually smoke, and then hopefully you just quit. But the gum only worked for so far. No, this is not true. I did the patches first, I think, and then I had to quit using them. I had to quit using them because they irritated my skin, and I think they were helping, but I had to quit them sooner than later. I didn't get to use them very long. Then I did gum. It worked really well, but then I started smoking again. And the end way that I finally got to quit smoking, what worked was I just quit. That's it. I just said, I'm not going to smoke anymore, and I just quit. And sometimes that's what it takes. That was my last option, my last resort, other than to go to get hypnotized, which some people do, I guess. You can go and try to be hypnotized to make you lose the desire to smoke, but I didn't do that. This Life is for Rent. This Life is for Rent. It's the name of a Dido album. She had a song with Eminem called Stan, I think. I like Dido's music. I like her solo stuff. Go check her out if you don't know who Dido is. Dido, D-I-D-O. Check her out. She's cool. Tomorrow, together. Tomorrow, together, no future. What does that one say? Welcome to the end of the line. Okay. Some of the stuff's hard to read. Looters, pay, keep, pay out. I don't know. I'm not going to read all of this everywhere because eventually it just starts looping. You see the same stuff. The Sights of Sevastopol. Remember your stay with a limited edition print of CG 348. KG 348 being this planet, maybe. I think that's the planet you see in the title screen. I'm not exactly sure what that planet is. Cup of Joe's. Have you got the Cup of Joe's smile? Apollo. There's the Apollo AI. Looks like frickin' GLaDOS out of Portal. The Apollo. I'm going to try to read this because this would be interesting. The Apollo core is a mainframe that monitors and provides guidance for all Seegson working Joe androids on Sevastopol. So it's the hive mind for the androids that help run Sevastopol. A unified information hub that makes sure artificial humans work to maintain efficiency, a direct interface with the station's security system, quickly spots anything on Sevastopol that needs repair or attention, and notifies the working Joes about the required work within seconds. So you can rest assured that during your stay on Sevastopol, you're in safe hands. What does that say? Guiding our synthetics, ensuring your safety. So how many other YouTubers are you going to find that have actually read this poster when they play this game? I would dare say I would be the only one. Oh, that fell off the ceiling, huh? Yep.
Welcome to Sevastopol Station, your home away from home. The station, a decade in the making, was built to be the #1 gateway to commerce and resources in this quadrant. Construction began in 2095 and completed in 2105. What you see before you is a scale model of the station itself, a gift from the Seegson Corporation to commemorate the opening and the start of an exciting new era in deep space trade. Why not let us take you on a tour?
I was trying to see where the sound source was for that. So yeah, this is Seegson's. They own Sevastopol. It's theirs. It's not Weyland-Yutani's. This is a Seegson operation here. You can't interact with these. They're just there for ambiance. That thing got a beat down. So did that one. There's a suitcase you can't open. Why did they beat every one of these down except for this one? So yeah, always be looking for the green lights and stuff. Here's a door that's not working or locked. What we got? Charge pack and ethanol, alright. And here's a different kind. Looks like it has a bunch of trays, but it functions the same way as those other things. Bonding agent. Right. And since there's no lights, there's nothing you can do with that door. So we'll stop this video here, and in the next video we'll see about using that code and getting in here and checking out what's in there. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your time and your interest in what I'm doing. See you in the next video. Bye.